Okay, we're up here at this hairpin turn. It's Tom. He's just coming up and heading up. I'm going to follow him up. I just wanted to get this thing worked out. I've got a figured path here. It looks like it's getting pretty miserable now. Anyway, off in the distance is the big island, and let's get rolling here. Okay. Okay, here we go. really cleaned up the road since last time I was up here. Oh, a lot of silt and sand and cinder. that was exciting. The road is so much better, but those hairpin turns, the cinder is so soft. It was quite the event.
That's right. After the last turn, that's probably the worst part, right? Too many little bumps.
Oh, that didn't bother me.
But it was like highway compared to what it was
Oh,
when I was here last time.
Yeah, me too.
It was so
They filled in that crossroad rut, and I was so glad.
Yeah.
And they took the bumps out of that hill by baseball park. So I was sitting there going, oh, this is sweet. But yeah, going through those two first the hairpin, the S turns, both of them had so much cinder. You know, your bike wanted to slide into.
And I love it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a butt pucker moment though, because you're not. I'm not sure I'm going to make it.
Well, if you like to really control it, and you go to the back side of the seat, you will get much better traction. If you like to, you know, like fishtail or slide, go more to the front, and you know the rear wheel is going to be lighter, and it will slide much more.
Yeah, well,
but it was so cool.
What I found was too, is that if I gassed it in the corners, I accelerated, and that stabilized the bike. You know, in that cinder. So it was sweet. Yeah. So folks, that's what you can do on an electric motorcycle. But oh man, that was such a nice ride.
It was so easy. I was ready to bump like idiot like last time because it was so uncomfortable, and today is just like highway.
That leg straight stretch there was probably some of the bumpiest, but and right up here, and I just go, fuck, that's it. That's nothing compared to what it was.
What it was, yeah, I know.
You know.
No, they did a good job. That's for sure.
Oh boy. Yeah. All right, folks, so here once again, you've seen it before, but you're going to see it again. Clouds are way down below us, so we're in the sun, living large. And here's what we were talking about, the road coming up. This last section, the cinder was so damn deep, it's like trying to ride in sand and take a tight corner. And then, you know, because I was spinning my tire a bunch coming out of that turn. But let's see, I think you can get it on the camera, but that's the turn right there. And it's deep, deep cinder. But yeah, they've cleaned up the road a lot. I mean, it was very technical before. Like I said, I crashed twice on it my last ride up. And we had ruts kind of like that one right there across the road that we had to jump, which when I came up to it, I wasn't expecting it, so I slammed on my brakes, and I actually and kept from getting hurt that way. But yeah. So Tom here, you met Tom before. We stopped by his shop, E-Moto, in Kahului, and next weekend or next Friday I'm going to go down and we're going to actually look at all the bikes that he's got just for grins, so you can kind of see, because a lot of the bikes that he's got you don't see. Well, I never see anything on the internet, and I don't see anything, you know, you never hear any of the bike shops on the mainland talking about these bikes, so we just thought we'd take a look at them.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and none of them are American bikes, so they're all Chinese. You don't have any. You didn't get the Czechoslovakian bike yet, did you? Are you going to get it?
Nope.
Too much, huh?
No, it's too far from here.
Well,
The shipping's gonna be crazy.
oh, okay. Well, there you have it from the word of the.
And they are making all the bikes in China anyway, so who cares, right?
Well, not all of them like that. What is it? Zero's not made in China, and then
But all the
there's
parts are coming from China.
Zeros. I don't think are.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
not Harleys, are they? I don't-
I'm not sure where they manufacture the parts, but
Yeah.
I know that most of the parts they are go to electric bikes. They are coming from like about 4 or 5 different China factories.
Oh, okay. Well, my bike is a red-blooded Japanese bike, with the exception of the motor and the battery, and my rebuilding part. So what you have here is a combination, and actually I want to do a video too explaining that Honda, this is the bike that Honda should be making, and they could put a bigger battery in it if they did it right than I can put in, which would probably boost their range up to almost 100 miles. And so we'll just kind of take a look at this next time and see how it goes. But God, this thing is fun in the dirt. And the response I get from the throttle, you know, I can spin it out, go sideways a little bit, and really have a good time. But what did I do with my water? So we'll leave you with a view here, and you can hear us make noise. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is show you guys the uphill side. For those of you who are new to the channel, those of you who've seen most of my stuff, you've been up here with us before. But this is the top of one of the cinder cones. This whole ridge here is a line of cinder cones that goes from the ocean all the way up to the very top of Haleakala. And we are currently at 8,000 feet here and about maybe 5 miles from the very top at the observatory. So anyway, once again, I'll give you the full panorama. Yeah, it's been a while since I've gotten out in the dirt, since last time I crashed and burned. So, and Tom's back. He's feeling much better. He's had a little health issues that kind of held him back. So, and I've been through a few myself here. So, yeah, we'll get back into riding here. We are getting towards the later part of summer, so we kind of pissed away some of the riding season, but it's just the way it goes.
I'm gonna get the EM, Electric Motion, and they are making trials bike with real clutch.
Trials bikes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I just got the dealership for it.
Oh, okay.
So and they are coming with other bikes, I believe, more exciting bikes, because right now they have also like enduro, but not DOT.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
So with the seat and everything, basically it's the same concept like the trials bike, same motor, same battery, everything, but with the seat, and it's only 165 pounds, which is really nice and light.
Yeah, it is.
And you know, they are on the market for a long time, and because they came from trial racing, they basically figured out how to make the clutch, like proper clutch. And
well, that wouldn't be a hard thing to do. That's easier than slapping a transmission together.
and I'm really excited to get because the bike is kind of expensive. So I was thinking to buy it before I bought Vertigo, but right after that I was like, fuck that. because
Before you got what?
the Vertigo, I don't have Scorpa anymore.
Oh.
I have Vertigo. I have green bike
Oh.
because I got dealership from Spain
Uh-huh.
for Vertigo bikes.
Uh-huh.
So I got that one, and I love this bike.
It's a gas bike? and
It's a
not-
300cc, yeah.
Oh.
And now I'm thinking about the EM because I still feel like I love this bike, no doubt about it, but I don't need really speed. I'm much more happy when I'm playing in the woods
Right.
and go like 6, 7, 10 miles an hour and playing with the turns and jumps and things like that. So it's
Well, you have to let me know how that goes, because at some point, if I get the money, I might want to buy a trials bike. Yeah.
well, it was funny because there was a guy in the shop on Friday morning,
Uh-huh.
and because he purchased a helmet, he said that he's riding on Yamaha
Uh-huh.
250, and he's probably, I think, about 63, 4-ish, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Kind of tall guy, and he told me, you know what, I'm thinking about, because he saw the post where I was selling the Vertigo. I'm thinking about this kind of bike for such a long time. I think know that I want to put them over here on the island. So I tried to ship them from a Las Vegas dealership.
He was from Las Vegas?
Well, he said that, you know, he feels like it would be the closest dealership for Stroudsburg.
Uh-huh.
And we started talking about it, and he said, you know what, I'm getting older for my 250, and you know, I used to go with their grandson and son, and they are too fast for him.
Yeah.
And he said, I would like to really enjoy myself, and I feel like when I'm on the bike, I would like to be by myself and clear my head and, you know, keep calm and figure out what I can do with my balance and things like that. So I'm thinking about to get this kind of bike. I was like, well, that's a great idea. That's basically my heart attack brought me to it.
Yeah.
When the doctor said I have to exercise, but I hate to exercise. I hate to get sweaty
Yeah.
and do this and that like idiots. So I was like, I'm gonna go back where I was basically, I grew up on bikes like that, where I was little, like about 7, 8, 10 years old, but not that sophisticated bikes, of course. Not
Yeah.
that good suspension, things like that. And that's why I got Scorpa, and I love Scorpa. And right after that, you know, I would like to get a new bike, so I got the Vertigo. And
You
he
know-
said, yeah, I think it's gonna be a great bike for me. I was like, yeah. So,
Well, if I get a trials bike, I'm going to reopen those trails.
that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
the thing is, you can go pretty much anywhere, because when you just load up the bike on a truck, you can go to Lahaina. There's so many open trails still. You can go to Waiahe, because for this bike,
yeah.
it's gonna be steep for us. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
younger guys are going there on 250s, two
Yeah.
strokes, and it's good for them. But it's very steep out there, but beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty, you know,
Steep
and it can get dangerous.
and technical.
And that thing, it's like you're completely dependent on your brakes. You can't stall in gear and the bike
Yeah.
not roll away. You
So,
know,
in other words, you need light bike.
right?
You need the bike you can step down easily, and that's why I tried to explain to him. You know, I said it's a big V, so between your legs is almost nothing, and you can easily step down,
Yeah,
you know, if something happened.
yeah,
And your speed is almost nothing, so you just stop and step down again. So he said, yeah, I think it would be great bike.
yeah. That's why I like that ultralight of my son-in-law's.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like you can't really. I mean, you can get hurt being stupid.
Yeah.
But that said, it's pretty hard to do that.
And it is enough power, so it's made for fun basically.
Yeah, yeah, and if you get good tires on it, which we put good tires on his now, it's really a fun bike to ride. I was watching this guy, Mad Jack, on YouTube.
Okay.
If you got to check out his videos. They're
Okay.
really good. He and his buddy do this trail that they thought was 15 miles long. It's in Idaho, and they're going up this river. They brought a chainsaw, figuring because it was right at the beginning of riding season this year, and they didn't think that anybody else. They weren't sure that anybody else had been through there, so they knew there were going to be a lot of trees down. They fucking in 15 miles. They ended up lost, spending the night of 8,000 feet, freezing their ass off, and then because he looked at his GPS. And it showed him there was a split in the trail, and it showed the one going up was shorter to the closest town or road or something. So they thought they'd go that way. Well, it turned out to be a real shit show. And so they spent the night up on the mountain, freezing their ass off. They're up in snow on the ridge, getting out. But it's a 3-part series. So just remember, Mad Jack.
Okay.
And then type in his, and then he does another one that I guess has been out a while. He says it's the most dangerous trail in Idaho, but he hadn't been on this other one at that time.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful trail cut right into the cliffs of a river valley. And
Well, that's the beauty, because nobody hears you are coming and you are even going through.
yeah,
And most of the time, when you run into the people, you are immediately out of them, and they are like, "Oh, it was electric."
yeah, and in Idaho, you can ride all over the place.
Yeah. So I start to watch the guy from Spain. His name is Tony Bow.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you heard about him.
no,
He's not that young anymore, but what he can do, oh my gosh, it's not from this world. It's amazing what he can do
yeah,
with the bike. I cannot do anything like that, but I'm still trying. And when I send pictures to my friend, which is a little bit older than me, when we used to go on a motorcycle together, and he almost basically died because of the motorcycle accident, because he did stupid thing, and he sold the bike. I told him, you know what, just try to think differently. You can still have fun on a bike,
just don't do stupid things.
but don't get on the street, because on the streets the speed is involved.
Yeah.
Different type of bike. And I sent him a picture when I was nose wheelie, and I was like, that's really you, it's not Photoshop. I was like, yeah. And he said, how you can do it? I was like, well, I'm practicing. I'm going in the woods and I'm practicing all the time, and it's getting better and better and better, because you always learning. Doesn't matter what you know on the bike or how you can ride the bike. It's basically different thing.
Right.
And there's so many guys I find out on YouTube. They start to ride Charles' bike, because it's not that popular here in the States, but
Right.
mainly in Europe, like Spain, UK, Italy, whatever. And they are like about 40, 50, and they start in front of the garage. They just put the cones on the driveway, and they start to make the turns and leaning the bike and go through the turns and things like that, basically getting the balance. And all of them, they are saying, oh my gosh, it's like different. I should purchase this bike like about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had the same feeling. I'm like, fuck, I would like to be younger, at least 20 years younger, because oh my gosh.
Well, I didn't start in the dirt until I was 60.
I know you told me, yeah.
And
I know.
and I really wished, I rode bikes since I was 14, but not hardly any off-road.
Yeah.
And so relearning that, and it's like, it's a lot harder when you're 60, because your balance, your reflexes, everything's not as fast.
That's right.
So, you got to get used to getting beat up.
Well, that's the thing, because if you are in the woods
Yeah,
and you are not on more than 20 miles an hour, you cannot do that, because there is no space for it.
right.
Well, it doesn't matter what reflexes you have. It's more about your balance.
Yeah,
And the balance, you can you
the
can,
balance is
you
the
can
most
gain again.
Yeah, the balance is the most important
Yeah.
thing that we have.
So it's more about precision and the balance.
Yeah, even in the dirt, balance.